The Vietnam War. Few conflicts in modern history stir as much debate, memory, and mystery. But beyond the battles and politics are incredible, surprising, and often shocking facts that many people have never heard. Today we're diving into 10 amazing facts about the Vietnam War, and I promise number 10 will leave you stunned. Let's begin. Fact 1. The war wasn't officially declared a war. Here's something shocking. Despite lasting nearly 2 decades and involving millions of US troops, the Vietnam War was never officially declared a war by Congress. Instead, it was called a conflict. Yet over 58,000 Americans gave their lives, and more than 3 million Vietnamese were killed. It's a grim reminder that the bloodshed was real, regardless of the legal wording. Fact 2. The draft sparked nationwide protests. The Selective Service Draft pulled in young men from every corner of America. Over 2.2 million Americans were drafted, and for many, their fate was decided by something as random as a lottery ball pulled with their birth date. This fueled massive anti-war protests, changing American culture forever. College campuses became ground zero for rebellion. Fact 3. Helicopters changed the face of warfare. Vietnam was often called the Helicopter War. The US deployed over 11,000 helicopters, primarily the UH-1 Huey. These aircraft revolutionized combat, moving troops quickly, evacuating the wounded, and providing close air support. The iconic sound of rotor blades became the soundtrack of the war. Fact 4. More bombs were dropped on Vietnam than in World War II. This fact stuns most people. The United States dropped more than 7 million tons of bombs on Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. That's more than twice the total dropped by the Allies in all of World War II combined. Even today, unexploded ordnance remains a deadly problem in Southeast Asia. Fact 5. The Viet Cong used secret tunnels. Beneath the jungles of Vietnam lay a hidden world. The Viet Cong built thousands of miles of tunnels, complete with hospitals, kitchens, and storage rooms. Soldiers could pop up, attack, and vanish underground. The most famous network, the Cu Chi tunnels, stretched over 75 miles and became a symbol of guerrilla warfare's power. Fact 6. The war fueled rock and roll. The Vietnam War didn't just play out in jungles, it shaped music back home. Songs like Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Give Peace a Chance by John Lennon, and What's Going On by Marvin Gaye became anthems of resistance. Music gave a voice to those who opposed the war and comforted those who served. Fact 7. Napalm and Agent Orange left scars for generations. The US military used chemical weapons like napalm and Agent Orange to destroy enemy cover in the dense jungles. But the long-term effects were devastating. Agent Orange contained toxic dioxins that caused cancers, birth defects, and environmental destruction. Effects still felt today in both American veterans and Vietnamese civilians. Fact 8. The draft was unequal. While the draft seemed random, it wasn't always fair. Wealthier young men often avoided combat by enrolling in college or receiving medical deferments. Meanwhile, working-class and minority communities bore the brunt of the fighting. This inequality further fueled public anger and mistrust of the government. Fact 9. It was the first televised war. For the first time in history, Americans could watch combat footage from their living rooms. News broadcasts showed raw images of battles, villages burning, and flag-draped coffins coming home. This direct exposure shifted public opinion, creating the famous phrase, the living room war. Fact 10. The war still isn't over for many. Here's the most sobering fact. For countless veterans and families, the Vietnam War never truly ended. PTSD, physical injuries, and the memory of lost brothers linger. The war also reshaped America's foreign policy, influencing decisions in Iraq and Afghanistan. In Vietnam, the legacy remains in contaminated soil, unexploded bombs, and generations impacted by war. The Vietnam War wasn't just about battlefields, it was about politics, culture, music, and humanity. These 10 facts reveal that the war's story is far bigger than textbooks often tell us. If this video taught you something new, take a moment to honor those who served. Like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to Fusion Minute Mysteries for more hidden stories of history that demand to be told. Because sometimes, the past doesn't just echo, it screams to be remembered.